everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Breaking Mental Chains. Are we truly free? I'm Angelica.
And I'm Francine. And today we're not just talking about Rizal as a national hero. We're asking the big question, did he actually succeed in freeing us?
We always say Rizal fought for our freedom, but look around. Are we truly free? Or are we still trapped in the same chains he tried to break?
Okay, let's add to that. Rizal gave us knowledge. But was that knowledge enough? The revolution happened without him. So, was he the hero we needed or just the hero we got?
Now that's a question. So sit back, get ready, and let's uncover the real impact of Rizal's legacy on the Filipino mind.
Alright, let's start with the basics. What exactly did Rizal do to wake the Filipino people? 'Cause, there's been a lot of debates about whether Rizal is the national hero and what did he exactly do to deserve such title, no?
Hmm. Actually, Rizal wasn't a soldier. He didn't lead armies. But what he did was arguably just as powerful. He made Filipinos see the truth.
Right. Before Noli Tangere and El Filibusterismo, many Filipinos accepted Spanish rule as a fact of life. But then Rizal came along and said, no, this isn't normal. This is oppression.
And he did it through his writings, no? He showed how the Spanish friars and officials abused their power. He gave us characters like Crisostomo Ibarra, who tried to reform the system peacefully, and Simon, who took a darker and more radical approach.
And let's also not forget Padre Damaso, the Tinola guy, a classic symbol for corruption and abuse. Rizal basically told Filipinos, that's what's happening to you, and are you just going to accept it?
Exactly. That's why Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo were banned during Spanish times. They were too powerful. His words made people question the system and realize the injustices they had long accepted. Rizal's novels opened the eyes of the Filipinos, inspiring them to fight for their rights and paving the way for the revolution.
Uh, I want to add that according to historian Jesús Salazar, this was Rizal's biggest contribution. He didn't just fight Spanish, but he also redefined the Filipino identity. Before Rizal, many Filipinos didn't even see themselves as a nation.
Yes, Salazar said that colonizers erased our true history and replaced it with a version where Filipinos were called Indios, just passive subjects of Spain. Rizal changed that narrative. He reminded us that we had a rich history before colonization.
So, in a way, Rizal didn't just expose oppression. He gave Filipinos identity back.
Right, but here's the question. Was knowing the truth really enough to set us free?
Um, Here's where things get interesting. Rizal believed in education over violence. Was that really the best approach? What do you think?
I think actually that's a debate, diba? Rizal believed that true freedom starts in the mind. He also once said, he wrote na slavery is the worst when the slave accept his slavery.
It's hard. So, for Rizal, education was the key to real independence, not just from Spain, but from ignorance.
Exactly. But while Rizal was writing books, Bonifacio and the Katipunan were preparing for battle.
Um, Here's the thing. When the revolution actually broke out, Rizal didn't support it. In fact, he openly exposed it and believed the country wasn't ready for an armed uprising. Yeah, he even wrote a letter expressing his concerns, arguing that a revolution without proper preparation and unity would only lead to chaos and suffering rather than true independence.
And that's what makes Rizal such a complex figure. His books fired up the revolution and opened people's eyes to the truth. But when the actual uprising started, he distanced himself from it. He also believed the country wasn't ready and feared it would lead to more harm than good daw. It's ironic, no? His words planted the seeds of rebellion, yet he didn't fully embrace the fight when it finally happened.
Yeah, so like for you, what do you think? Was Rizal's approach yung education over violence the right path? Or did the Philippines need Bonifacio's revolution to truly break free?
Honestly, I think both were important. Rizal opened people's eyes, but Bonifacio gave them the push to actually do something. It's like Rizal planted the seed and Bonifacio made sure that it grew.
Okay, but let's bring this topic today. Rizal fought for intellectual freedom, right? But look around us. Do we really have that now?
Actually, that's the million peso question nga. Sure, we're no longer under Spain, but we still did with corruption, misinformation, and colonial mentality. That's the very things Rizal warned us about.
Let's talk about colonial mentality because you mentioned it. We still see foreign products, ideas, and even beauty standard as something better than the local ones, the Filipino local ones.
Right? I remember Rizal once wrote na ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makararating sa paroroonan. But how many of us actually look back and learn from history?
And what about critical thinking? No, social media is full of fake news, and people just believe whatever they see online. If Rizal were alive today, he'd probably be fighting against misinformation the same way he fought against the Spanish abuses.
That's the thing, actually. Freedom isn't just about independence from colonizers. It's about breaking free from ignorance, blind obedience, and self-doubt.
So eto na. Final question. Did Rizal really free our minds, or are we just still fighting for the freedom today?
Hmm, that's hard, okay? For me, he actually opened our eyes, and I believe that's for sure. But freedom isn't just about knowing the truth, it's about actually acting on it.
Exactly, that's actually a good point, no? Rizal once said, there are no tyrants if there are no slaves. But what if we keep accepting oppression, corruption, and misinformation? Aren't we still enslaved?
Damn, that hits deep. Maybe the real question isn't did result free us? Maybe it's are we willing to free ourselves?
Or maybe are we truly free, or do we still have chains to break? Uh, think about that thought while we wrap up. Let's continue this conversation beyond this episode.
If you found this discussion valuable, share it, talk about it, and most importantly, act on it. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep pushing for change. Remember, results started the fight, but it's up to us to finish it. Till next time, mga kababayan.
Mga kababayan!
Mga kababayan ko